Well, good morning, my Facebook friends around the world. Miss Sunshine, Rolls Royce technician Eddie coming to you live with yet another video here in sunny South Florida as things are taking place. And what we have here today is a brake caliper. This is one of the front brake calipers off of a Rolls Royce. This would fit the RR363 vehicles. This would actually fit the Silver Shadow, Silver Wraith, the Corniche convertible, stuff like that. So that use the RR363 fluid. So as you can see, these are totally cleaned. I cleaned them. These are actually from Dubai. That's right. They actually came in from Dubai. We got them all cleaned up, and now we got our kit together. Now, the kit we're going to be using is a CD5339. I belong to one of the Rolls-Royce forums on Facebook from Rolls-Royce collectors and enthusiasts from around the world. And I had a question about the galley seal, which the galley seal is what sits right here, and that seals the two halves together. Here's the other side, and the seal would go in there like that. It's an O-ring, a special O-ring that used by Rolls-Royce, and they sell them individually for about $6 a piece, which isn't too bad. You know, you're going to use one here, one on the other ones, maybe 12 if you're going to use the spacer in there if you have a vented rotor. But if you're going to be doing 30 or 40 pairs of Rolls-Royce calipers, $6 for one O-ring is getting to be pretty ridiculous. So this is the kit, CD5339. We're actually going to pull this out. We're going to show you exactly what is entailed in here. We have our O-ring. This is our metal ring that holds the dust seal. This would be our dust seal here. This is the O-ring that fits inside. That fits inside there. We're going to show you how that goes in. Here's the nipple that goes on to cover the valve. This valve actually goes on there like that. And then we have these special rings. These are special flat O-rings. They are the EPDM, I believe, or EDPM. Not the nitrile. Nitrile will not hold up to the RR363 glycol-based oil used in the brake fluid that's used on this. So I had a question if anybody, because these are being sold as aftermarket from Flying Spares, and we found that even the Montag and Company, one of the leading Rolls-Royce parts distributors, in their kit of the CD5339, it's not included. They don't include those. But in this kit that we got, they're in there. So that tells me that somebody somewhere is selling these O-rings that would be used. Now, we have the pistons. We have several pistons here. We have centric. These are the centric caliber pistons used for Rolls-Royce. All right, they're in the bag. We actually have the other ones here, original ones here. And they also, I have a vendor that makes the stainless steel that will never rust. They'll never corrode. You can see this is a brand new piston. So why don't we go ahead and get started? We're going to show you how this goes together. So we already cleaned it inside out. We blew out the holes. We blew out the line right here. This actually comes down and comes into here. That's what feeds the piston into the RR363 brake fluid. So we're going to go ahead and I already cleaned the ring out of there real good. So that is all cleaned. As a matter of fact, we're going to give it one more little wiping. I like to use a lot of paper towels in here. So we're going to go ahead and give it one more wiping. Now, I clean those out with a Dremel tool to make sure that that ring in there is perfectly clean. So you want to make sure that that ring seats down in there perfectly clean. This actually is going to go in there just like this. Put that down in there. A little hard to see it. And there you go. You see that? That ring is in there. Brand new ring. This has all been cleaned. I actually used a Dremel and polished the inside of that out. I ran a real fine wire down through there to clean the cartridge out, and I use an air gun to blow it out. So this is like surgically ready to go. So now we're going to go ahead and take one of our pistons. Now, These are the pistons that you can get. They're all the same. I just took one out of the package, and here it is right here. So what we're going to do right now, it's always good to put a little Sil Glide on there. I've been told that by putting the Sil Glide on there, a lot of people say, oh, no, don't do nothing. Well, guess what? You're allowed to put a little Sil Glide on there to keep that thing nice and easy. So we're going to run it and put some of that on there as such, just to get it in there. You always want to use Sil Glide. You don't want to use WD-40 or nothing like that. Make sure it's nice and clean. We're going to go ahead and now, I think it's in the realm of the video. We're going to go ahead and slide the piston right down in there. We're going to actually push it down in there as such. There it is, going down in there, looking as only it can look right now. There, just like that. Look at that, huh? We then go ahead and put our dust ring. This is the dust ring. This dust ring actually sits right down on here as such. It goes around. You're going to feed it in there. You're going to, it's very flexible, so you got to actually do it while it's sitting on the ground. Feed that in there as such all the way around. Got to make sure we get it down in there real nice. By putting that in there as such. Look at that. There you go. You see that? Nice, perfectly in there. This is just a little residue from the factory that they put in there. Now they recommend putting a little anti-seize in there. That's in case water, because the pad goes here, the water may build up in there and turn to rust. The stainless steel ones and stuff, you're not going to have to worry about that. And then we're going to take the ring. This is the ring, and we're going to go ahead and slide the ring all the way around that to hold the dust. That's only holding the dust seal down on there. So we get that all the way around as such. Whoop, not in there all the way. Got to hold it up here by my thing to get a really good seal down. Now, you don't want to use screwdrivers to try to pry that down, because if you do that, then you're going to have an issue with possibly breaking the seal, and you don't want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and just get that down there. And there you have it. There it is right there, all sealed in. The ring's holding it down. Ring's still kind of flipping up. Phone's ringing non-stop here. So we're going to go ahead. Let's try to put that back down in there a little bit better. It actually came out of the bottom of the seal, so we're going to get that back up on there. But make sure it's sitting there nice and tight. Pull that back out of there again. Put that down. Little hard to get that thing all the way down in there as such. Just like that. You can see that, how it's sitting in there. Press down. We're going to go ahead and put our ring back down there again. Just like that. As such. There it is. Okay, now there we go. Perfect installation there. All right, we'll go ahead. We're going to put one of the caliper. This is the galley. That actually fits right in there like that. You can see that, how it's sitting there, recessed just above there. All right, we're going to go ahead and put the other piston. We'll set that one aside. We're going to go ahead and put the other O-ring on the other side. Now, there's two per wheel. There's one in the front of the caliper, one in the back. So you have 4 calipers on the front, and then we have the rear caliper, which is a big caliper, to be able to stop that big Rolls Royce running down the road. So Again, this is only for the RR363 brake fluid. There it is. Your O-ring is in there, nice and clean. You can see how spotless it is in there. It's cleaned inside out. I blow them all out. Here's actually the valve, the pipeline that goes through there. So blow it through just to make sure nothing got down in there. So we're good to go as far as that's concerned. There's the brake line coming in, and that's where the O-ring would go there. So we're going to go ahead and take another piston. We'll take one of these pistons here. We got a bunch of them to do today, so I just wanted to do it. Now here's a nice piston here. You can see that all chrome from the factory. Look at that, nice, beautiful, in good shape. So we're going to go ahead and put a little Sil Glide on that, just a little bit. We don't need a lot, just enough to get it started around down that piston with that seal there, so that it doesn't bind up on there. It's just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to slide that down in there. Got to make sure it goes in there nice and even. All right, just like that. Just like that. See that? Beautiful. Tight fit, precision fit right there. We go ahead. Oh, we got to push that down a little bit farther. Get that down a little bit farther. Just like that. All right, we'll go ahead and put our dust seal across there. Get that down into the groove as such. Now, the reason I'm doing these videos is because I'm actually downloading them to YouTube. So my clients in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, is able to see exactly what we're doing here. So I actually sold a few Rolls Royces to Dubai to a gentleman out there. He actually bought 2 of the Rolls Royces that I've owned, and we had them taken to Miami, where they stuck them in a container and they shipped them over there. So there it is, just like that. You can see that down there, nice dust shutters, dust covers all the way sealed up, just like that. We're going to go ahead and then put our ring on here. So let's get that ring. Oh. Just like that. There you go. Beautiful. Set up just the way it's supposed to look. Looking as only it can look right there. A completed thing. So now with the O-ring in here, we don't want that to fall out. We're going to go ahead and we're going to mate the 2 pieces together. Here's your O-ring here. That's sitting there. That's going to ride right here. You can see how nice and flush that is. I polished it all down, even in the crevices, even in the brake holes. So we're going to go ahead and just lay that right on top, all right, because there's not one on this side. This is just mating surfaces made to go right there, and we'll set that on there just like that. So then we're going to go ahead and put the bolts in. I cleaned all the bolts. The bolts are all polished. You can see that right there. That bolt goes in there. The thicker one goes in here. Then we put the same over here, and we put the same over here. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to gently just go ahead. You see how nice and easy the threads have all been cleaned. The bolts have been cleaned, so they're going to go together real nice. So we're going to go ahead and just snug those down. And then we're going to go ahead and use an impact wrench to crank these down. We don't want to use just a wrench. We want to use an impact wrench so that these mated surfaces are going to go together real nice. Now, the way to put the brake pads in, the brake pads come in from the bottom so that you're going to slide them up in there. And then we went ahead and cleaned the pins. So we even have the pins polished and clean. You can see that. You slide these in, you put the pin in that holds it in, and then you can go ahead and with your brake pads in there. This way they don't flip out of there. All right, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead and use a 9/16 6-point socket. I don't want to use a 12-point because then you end up rounding it out. So we use a 6-point so that it's going to go on there. We're going to go ahead and tighten these down, hand tight. I can feel that O-ring clamping down. There it is with that. And then we use a 5/8. This is a 5/8 bolt here. So 9/16 on the small, 5/8 for the other larger bolt. We go ahead, put that on there just like that. So now we have it together. There it is. You can see that, huh? We got them all mounted on there, really nice. We're going to go ahead and set this down like this. And then we're going to use our Milwaukee impact wrench. Now this is a heavy duty. I don't want to use an air wrench. This is the way to go. If you're going to go ahead and use an impact, go spend the money, buy yourself the best, and you can go ahead and put this on. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to do the inside bolts first. You can use any bolt you want, but I like to start with the inside bolt. So we're going to go ahead, put that on there like that. We're going to put it to thing. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead just like as such. Just like that. We go ahead and pull that out. Put our 9/16 socket on there. We go ahead and with the 9/16 just like that. And as you can see, there it is, a completed caliper for a Rolls-Royce using an RR363. Now, this one would use the solid disc, the vented disc that would have holes around it. They would have a spacer in here. So with the spacer, you would then actually use the other two because the spacer would have a hole on the other side on there so that you would be able to make it wider for the spacer. But this one would have just a single disc. So there it is. So there it is, a completed Rolls-Royce brake caliper, completely clean, completely polished, and it is ready to go. Hope you enjoyed that. We got a few more to do. As a matter of fact, we will go ahead and put the, this is our bleeder valve. The bleeder valve is going to go, oh, here's the holes, just so you see it. Here's the holes. These holes here slide down in there, and you put they're just like that. You got to pull this out, slide it all the way over to here. That's what holds your brake pads inside the caliper itself. So we have the brake pads where he wanted everything. So we're going to put the brake pads in it so that when he gets it back to Dubai, all you got to do is take it out of the box, stick it on, put the bolts back in, the mounting, and tighten it down. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and with our bleeder, well, this is the hose coming in, but we're going to go put our bleeder in there just like that. And then we go ahead and put the little cap over the top of it as such. So there it is. The line coming in, it would be. This is not. This is the line. This is a line here. This line actually screws in just like that. As such, it's bent to work so that it'll just go right on to the car as such. So there it is. Already bent, ready to go back in and connect to the RR363 brake line, and it'll be ready to go. Hope you enjoyed that. Pick up that phone, 561-693-8636. Mr. Sunshine coming in from the United States of America here in sunny South Florida. Wishing you all a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.